Hello everybody and welcome to Dungeons and Drams. We have a special episode tonight. Knobolas is not going to be able to make the next episode, so I decided to rip him out of the game, and we're going to go on a solo adventure with Knobolas here. So first off, Clifton, what are you drinking tonight? Because we always got to start with that.
Well, you know what? I had to get in the mood. Like, I knew this adventure was going to be something unlike anything ever on Dungeons and Drams before, so I had to go with hard truth. I don't know if this signifies anything to come tonight, but I'm really excited to drink this and see what Bill has in store for me. So
is that a 3-year bourbon? Is that what that says? Or is it a Scotch?
Oh no, so this is a sweet mash rye. So it's this is their chocolate malt. So they do a bunch of different of the roasting of the malts. Mm-hmm. They have a chocolate malt, a caramel malt, and like a malted rye. Okay. This is the one that I've enjoyed the most. I think it's got a really interesting, like super like espresso flavor to it. But also I picked it because of the name, because nice. You know.
Well, I saw the 3 on it. I was like, that's kind of weird.
It's mash bill number 3.
That
so
makes sense.
They have a few different mash bills. They're relatively new as a distillery, and they're doing a lot of experimentation, which is awesome. So this is just one of their master distillers reserve collection, and yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna get going. I want to just real quick say thanks to the patrons: Mike, Steve, Tony, Two Toes, EJ, James Taylor, David, Martin Lewis, and Scott MC. If you guys are interested in joining the Patreon, you can check out the links in the description. Otherwise, there's a bunch of other stuff like our Discord and whatever else you might want to find us on the internet. So, all right, Clifton, you ready?
I guess so.
Fantastic. All right, so. Just a quick recap for anybody who might be tuning in. Right before this episode started, since Clifton's going off on his own, the whole group had just fought a grizzly named Piddles in the bear hold. This was something that they joined in order to ride a whole bunch of bears and do kind of a rodeo style. However, there was a gnomish inventor who had brought their mechanized grizzly bear, and things went wrong, which is not unexpected.
All right. I think things went pretty awesome. Not to spoil it, but
things did go pretty well for you guys. Ultimately, a little shaky. But Knobolas, you've decided to step away from the group for a little bit to go discover the city. So tell me, where would you like to go?
Well, if I recall from a couple episodes ago, a very kind gentleman handed me a slip of paper in the inn and gave me a few destinations where he thinks that I might enjoy myself. Mm-hmm. Bill, do you know those names of those establishments?
Sure. Yeah, so actually, just a quick little thing. So it was a woman named Helga who is the owner of the now I'm forgetting things, the inn that you guys are staying at, and she handed you discreetly a little piece of paper that had 3 names on it. There was one called the Amazing Chest, one called the Come Right In, and another called the Open Purse. Now, this is after you had been flirting with a man in the baths.
That's where you
got the.
He told me to get it from Helga. That's what it was. Thank you for the reminder. Yes.
No problem. So, the Amazing Chest, the Come Right In, and the Open Purse. First big decision, Clifton.
I'm just gonna come right in and say it. Let's go to the Come Right In.
Sounds good. All right. So, you aren't really sure at the moment where the Come Right In is located. All you have is this piece of paper. But as you leave the Bear Hold in the Ironheart Quarter, you head back towards the Silverhammer Quarter. And go ahead and roll me a d6.
Oh no.
And while you're
Don't tell me I have to start asking random civilians like how to find this place, because that's super awkward.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So I will tell you that on the slip of paper, there's a symbol of a woman's face behind a crescent moon, which you know this to be the icon of a minor god named Lysara, who is the goddess of pleasure, fertility, and freedom.
Sounds up my alley. I got a 1 on that roll, which is not ideal.
Wonderful. So as you're walking the streets of the Silverhammer Quarter, you notice that the gambler that you had seen in the last episode, you spot him again. And he sees you and he gives you kind of a look. Maybe roll a perception check for me.
Oh no, I'm remembering what I did to that gambler.
Do you want to remind the audience? Just
I may or may not have used a sleight of hand to get my money back that I gambled and lost very quickly. He didn't notice though.
He did not notice.
Gosh.
Actually,
what are my rolls tonight? I just got a 3, which was technically a natty 1. So it's a 3 though.
All right, so you rolled a 3. So he sees you. He definitely sees you, and he starts walking towards you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to play it cool. I'm gonna try to be like, "Hey, my man, how's it going? Good to see you again, man. Great game earlier. You literally just robbed us blind."
Interesting choice of words there, Knobolas. I'm gonna assume he got your name at some point, Knobolas. I seem to be a little light on gold. Do you know anything about that?
My friends, they're total tricksters. You know, you never know. You know, like I trust them, but like you can't really trust them. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, let me spell this out a little ways. Right now, you and I are the only ones in this alley. The way I see it is you owe me about 25 gold. What are we gonna do about this situation?
How about this? You help me find where I need to go. I'll give you 12 gold. We call it a deal.
I must have some soot or something in my ear. It sounded like you said 25 gold, right? 25. That's what you said.
And this is like a little gnome guy, right? Like he's like a
he's a dwarf, and he's he's got kind of like actually he's wearing not black but like darker colored leathers, and actually roll me another perception check.
Okay. I was misinterpreting his size, which affects how I'm reacting. Okay, you said perception?
Yes.
Okay. Gotta roll better. Come on.
I was gonna say roll better than a 1.
14.
A 14 is good. So you notice that you didn't see this before, but he is wearing a cloak, and on his back he's actually got 2 daggers kind of crossed behind his back. With a 14, you're able to see these daggers are made out of obsidian. He is not going for them or anything, but you could wager that maybe he let them be seen.
Okay. My friend, surely you don't mean to threaten me.
I didn't say any. I talked about soot in my ear. I don't know where you're getting this threatening from.
Is there any kind of deal we can work out here?
Tell you what. I've got no proof, but I think you know what may or may not have transpired. So, I'm a gambling man. And he hands you a couple of dice. He says, I want you to roll both of these. If you roll an 8 or better, bygones be bygones. If you roll less, you owe me 30 gold.
What are the dice? Which dice is?
2d6.
2d6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about this? If I roll either way, you help me find what I'm looking for. You either get your 30 gold and you help me find it, or you get nothing and you still help me out because we're buddies. Deal?
I am amicable to this deal. Yes. And he gives you the two dice.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right.
2d6.
So you got to roll an 8 or better.
All right, let's hope I don't need to risky whiskey this early on to the episode. Let's find out. Oh my goodness. All right. Do I risky whiskey this early on? Oh,
what'd you roll? Just so he can.
A 6. I'm sorry, I rolled a 6.
Oh, you're so close there. All right, what are you doing? Are you gonna risky whiskey or no?
Let me look at my money. 1 sec.
Let me look at my money.
I don't got as much as some of the people in the group do.
Yeah.
I only got. I don't want to reveal how much I got, but it's not much. 30 would be a.
You had to buy that glass eye a while back, which was kind of expensive.
Yeah, that took a ton. You know what? I'm gonna risky whiskey it.
Okay. As you're looking in your little coin purse, by the way, he's like eyeing it over. He's looking down. Like, what you got in there?
I'm trying to say there's nothing I can do to improve my odds. I can't like add anything from any of my skills or anything.
Tell you what. So this is up to you. If you want to, I will allow you a sleight of hand. If you want to roll, if you want to try to like, roll the dice in a way that might be a little bit more favorable, I'll give you, this is going to be complex. If you want to do this, I'll have you roll a sleight of hand check. If you pass the DC I have in my head, I'll give you advantage on one of the dice.
If I don't?
Then you just roll the dice, because if you risky whiskey.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I mean, there's no real risk for me to do this, so like, I'll risky whiskey and we'll try it.
All right. So for those that don't know, a risky whiskey means he kicks back the drink that's in his glass. He gets to re-roll. It's like inspiration, but with ABV. What is the ABV on that whiskey, by the way?
109.6, so not too crazy, but I haven't really been drinking anything neat tonight, so
that's over 50. I mean,
I also have a very early flight in the morning, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Sleight of hand check.
Sounds good. Well, hold on. This is your risky whiskey, so you're just gonna re-roll, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had to risky whiskey to do the sleight of hand check.
Oh, well, you know what? I'll just call that a. All right. To be fair, roll me 3d6. Take the top 2. And that won't count for your risky whiskey of the night. I'll make that my mistake.
Is there an easy way to do that visually, or?
Yep. Type. Visually? No. Just.
I'll look at the dice. Hold on.
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
You could triple click on. There you go.
All right. 4, 2, and 1.
You're getting your bad rolls out of the way right now. All right. So he says, all right. I'm starting to lose my patience here. Where's my money?
Is there anyone else around? Can I like look around to see like we're in a dark alley, right?
I wouldn't. Well, I mean, the whole place is kind of dark, but more specifically, he already told you it's just you and him in the alley. So, I mean, unless you make a point of delaying him and hoping somebody walks by, at the moment it's just the two of you.
All right, you know what? I'm just gonna walk away. I was like, you scammed me once.
You're just gonna walk away, okay?
No, I'm gonna try to get past him because I'm like, you scammed me once, dude. I don't trust you. My friends don't trust you. I'm not letting you scam me again. Be gone.
Mm-hmm. All right, if you want to walk away from me, that's totally your idea, and we'll see what happens. He just stands there, and he starts walking the other direction.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I somewhat got out of that situation.
Sure. That's how I would interpret it.
It's gonna bite me in the ass, but I'm like, you know what? I need this money. I'm on my way to the I keep forgetting the name of it. The come
right in.
Come right in. I need those dollars, those gold. So
I need that money. All right. So you walk away from the dwarf here, and you keep going. At the moment, you still kind of don't know where this is, so it takes you a little bit of time. But eventually, you do find this. It's a fairly nice looking, silvery, ornate, but also stone building. It has a picture of a woman's face with a crescent moon. And you know this to be the come right in. So you open up the door and you walk on in. As you step through the entrance, you see it's a dimly lit interior, as one would expect. It kind of envelops you in a warm and inviting atmosphere, though. It's not too loud in here, not too soft. There's definitely some people. The air is kind of heavy with a mingling scent of both lavender and just other aromatic perfumes. And there's a hint of ale as well. The flickering glow of lamps cast a soft, intimate light that dances across the wooden furnishings and the golden silk drapes that kind of adorn the full inside. As you look ahead of you, you're kind of walking in, you see that there's a tiefling man to your right, but also ahead of you, you see there's a bar area, and kind of it opens up, it kind of goes almost subterranean, and it opens up inside. It's much larger in here than it seems. So the man, he welcomes you. He says, welcome, esteemed guest, and come right in. We deal in all aspects of pleasure, and our talent is very good at their jobs. If you're looking for a drink, Silas here will take care of you, and he points over towards the bar. Or if there's a specific service or experience that you seek, I can guide you to one of our cozy corners where you can relax and immerse yourself in the ambience.
That all sounds great. I think I need a drink though. So I think before I head off to get a drink, I think I'd like to give him a little something to kind of watch the door, because like I'm a little worried about that shady guy back there. So can I just like flip him like 5 like silver and like just tell him like, hey, keep an eye out for this shady guy that I'll just describe whatever I saw back there, and like
Sure.
If you see him, I wasn't here. You know, I was at the chess place.
The amazing chest. Oh, the amazing
chest.
The amazing chest. Yes. Much lower quality, but that's
Absolutely.
fine. You're
That's
here
why
now,
I'm
and
here.
that's all that really matters. And he motions over to a half orc that's fairly large, about 6 feet tall, dusky green skin, shaved head with a big scar on his left cheek. He says, "Grom, come over here," and I'd like you to roll a persuasion check.
All right. See, 9.
A 9. All right, so this tiefling, he's motioning over for Grom to come over, and this half orc kind of guy comes over. He's got a sword at his belt. He comes up and he goes, "Yeah, what's going on?" And this gentleman here has somebody that he'd like to make sure doesn't follow him into our establishment. What do you think that kind of service might cost? Grom kind of looks down. He looks over at you. What are we talking here?
He's this super shady dwarf, and he like wears this like black leather. He like looks like the most like sketchy guy you meet in an alley. If you see him walk in, like I know you probably get a lot of sketchy folks. Not as many sketchy folks as the chess place down the road, but you know what? You just keep an eye out for this guy. He's no good. He has hidden weapons. He's totally like armed, so you will be better off by keeping him out of your establishment.
When you say he's armed, are they obsidian daggers? I think I recognize who you're talking about. Black daggers on his back, crossed.
Yes. What do you know about him?
I would just say, if he's following you, I wouldn't necessarily want to be on your in your shoes, but you give me a gold and you'll be safe here while you're here.
How much are we talking?
A gold. A gold will buy.
Just one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's much better than the 30. Yeah, sure, here. And I give him a gold.
Excellent. And he pockets that. And he kind of motions. He says, "All right, go ahead in, and don't be causing any trouble." Or why am I talking Scottish? He says, don't too many dwarves. Don't be causing any trouble here, and we'll be all right, and I'll take care of you." All right.
Aye.
Nice.
All right. I'm gonna walk down to the bar and I need a drink first to get me, get in the mood.
Perfect. So the main area in front of you, it kind of, it's much larger. It's under the ground kind of, and it just opens up. There's a well-stocked bar in front of you, and it kind of curves in a half circle to encompass most of the room. It's displaying an immense array of like all these colorful bottles. There's tons of stuff here, and you can tell it's a really well-stocked bar. And the barman, who's a very stout dwarf with a red beard that goes almost down to his belly button, he's mid-pouring a drink, and he's kind of laughing with one of the courtesans here, who's a tall elven woman. And then he hands her a cup of wine, and he pays you attention. And he looks over at you, and he says, "Welcome. What do you be having tonight?"
You have such a incredible selection here. For someone new to town, what do you recommend a newbie to have?
I love when I get that question. So I'm a bit of a professional mixologist, if you will. I've been traveling this whole world learning my craft, and I can make everything from something over with the Aarakocra, it's called a Windia Soaring Breeze, over to the Vita Mons Mist, which is the lush green mountains over on Avera. Or perhaps you'd fancy a whiskey from the Corey's Vrecken whirlpool. But we've got all kinds of things. We've also got several offerings from Glen Draconic here as well. What are you in the mood for? Hard liquor, cocktail, or beer?
You know what? I appreciate a master mixologist. I would love for you to just work your magic. Show me what's good. I love a good strong drink and something that'll get me in the mood for such a beautiful establishment.
Perfect.
I'd like to like look around. Like when I say that, like I'd like to start eyeing, like seeing like what the clientele here, like just kind of do like a perception check to see what's going on all around me.
Sure. Actually, I won't even make you do that. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the inside of this place. So everywhere you look, the walls are adorned with like rich tapestries and carvings depicting bawdy and heroic scenes. They're adding both a touch of sensuality and adventure to the surroundings, because the dwarves here really, not only do they, you know, come here for a good time, but their interior, like their fantasy is being a hero. So you see that there's these plush purple and red couches all over the place. There's these little nooks that are strategically placed with these golden silk drapes that could easily close to kind of give you some privacy. And there's a bard who's actually singing in the corner. At the moment he's playing a lute and he's singing a couple of songs. He's kind of looking out at some of the patrons. You can tell he's been here for a little while and seems to know everybody. So the bard himself is half elf, and yeah, as you are looking around, Silvis, he kind of places a drink in front of you. He says, "This is a Windia soaring breeze. It's from the people of Orakokra over in Windia on Avera. It's a little light and fruity. It's got some pineapple, some coconut." And you notice that there's actually a kind of a strip of coconut that he's carved to look like a feather.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I must say I am very, very impressed. While I'm here, what is his drink of choice? And I'd like to point at the bard.
The bard. Whiskey does his voice kind of bad. I'd probably the Vidamon's Mist. That's it's kind of this herbal infused cocktail. It's got some rosemary, some basil, some elderflower. It's good for the throat.
I'll take one of those too, please.
All right, that'll be 4 silver.
Right. I'm gonna give him 6 silver.
Okay. Well, nice tip. Very good. You come back later, or maybe I'll tell you a story or two. There's lots of fun to be had here. All right. All right. What would you like to do?
All right. So I'd like to walk my way over to the bard. I think I'd like to. Does he have like a not a piano, but like somewhere like to set a drink down in front of him?
Not necessarily in front of him, but there's a number of like kind of small tables, like cocktail tables and chairs that are surrounding the stage that he's on. They're not all full. You could certainly find a place to sit if you wanted to sit kind of closer to the stage or further away. It's your decision.
I'd like to sit close to the stage, maybe on one of these lush couches you were talking about earlier. Maybe
sure.
A love seat. Maybe there's room for just 2 people. I'll put my drink down and I'll put his drink beside me and just kind of maintain eye contact with him.
Excellent. So you sit down on this couch, and you're not the only one here. There is an elven woman sitting next to you. She's a bit tall, and very beautiful, of course. And you notice the bard. He actually points down at her and he says, "This one's for you, Seraphina." And he says, he starts reciting a limerick. He says, "An elven enchantress so bright, her beauty a celestial sight. With a dance so divine, she'd weave dreams in moonshine. In her presence, all worries take flight." And she kind of tips her head and she looks over to you and she says, "I think he's one of my favorite bards that comes here. What's your name?"
I am Draco.
Oh, well, Draco, it's very nice to meet you. What brings you here to the Come Right In tonight?
I'm just accompanying my friends on a bit of a hairy adventure, I guess I would just say. And I don't know, the innkeeper where I was staying recommended this place and said this is where great things happen in the evenings here. So great to meet you. What was your name?
My name is Seraphina Nightshade. And you notice that she's got this extremely long, or not long, she's got kind of a I don't know what you'd call the dresses, but it's like cut down at the thighs, so it's showing all of her thighs, and it's kind of just the material in the front and the back. And she's got this like perfect skin, long flowing silver hair. She's got green eyes, and she's pretty slender.
So, do you come here often?
Do you want to try again? I think that's a pretty obvious question.
I'm just getting a lay of the land here. I'm obviously you are gorgeous, and can I get you a drink? Starting to get a little flustered. Knobolas getting a little flustered.
Sure. So she holds up. She was actually the one that took away that glass of wine earlier, but she holds up her drink, and she says, "Well, I've already got one, but what are you drinking? Is that the Aarakocra drink?"
Yeah, the bartender just worked his magic. I also have this drink. I was gonna offer it to the bard here. He seemed like he needed a drink. If he wanted to join us later, I mean, you guys seem friends. I mean, I'd love to have him, take a seat.
Ah, well, that could be very interesting. I think we could arrange that if that's something that you're interested in. And so she kind of gives the bard a little bit of an eye, and she is like that. And he recites like one or two more limericks, and he actually I just wrote them, so I have to say a couple of them.
Okay, go for it.
He goes, "In a tavern tucked down an old lane stands a place that brings pleasure, not pain. With ladies so fair and men with a flair, the Come Right In is the name."
Oh my god, I love it.
And he proceeds to play like about a minute and a half more on his lute, and then he says, "All right, everybody, I'm gonna take a quick break. Go ahead and head up to the bar, grab a drink, make sure to tip your waitress, and we'll see you back here soon." And he walks down to you and Serafina. He says, "Hello."
And then I bow. I don't know why I'm bowing, but I'm totally gonna bow. I'm like, "I am Draco."
Oh, hello, Draco. What brings you to the Come Right In tonight? What's your pleasure?
Oh, I have many a pleasure. What do you? I will admit I have been to places like this before, but never with such fine talent, and I'd like to eye both of them.
Well, that's you know what? Let's try to do this. Just roll charisma for me.
All right. I should be good at this. I should be.
I would hope so.
Ability check?
Yes.
Okay.
Much better.
21.
21 is great.
Now my good rolls come in. I was getting real nervous.
I know those. It was a tough start.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So the bard comes down and he introduces himself. He says, "I am Alaric, and I have I've been here for a little while. I noticed you as soon as you walked in. That chest of yours is quite impressive. You must do a lot of push-ups."
I get that a lot. Lots of, I wouldn't say push-ups, but it gets a lot of action, is all I gotta say.
Gets a lot of action. Excellent. Well, that's certainly what we're here for. So what are you here for tonight? What can we do for you?
I just would like to learn a bit more about what you all do. How do you get into this, and what's the pay like?
Oh, interesting. Are you looking to maybe join us here for some work?
Oh no, I'm far too good looking for this establishment. I look at them, and that's supposed to be a joke. I hope
okay. Okay, fair enough. I'll take that as a joke. That's
okay.
I was like, boy, that was an awkward turn to take.
Now they enter combat. Roll for initiative.
Right, yeah, roll initiative. Oh,
no, it's a joke.
By the way, just quick little going back in time. So when you first checked in, Grom would have asked you for your weapons to check them at the door. Weapons are not
for my what? Weapons?
For your
your
weapons, your trident and your crossbow specifically, because those are what he could see. If you have other stuff, or if you wanted to try to keep something on you, we could we could deal with that. It's up to you.
You know what? I don't need weapons. I'm obviously Knobolas. Like, if you know, you know.
Fair enough. All right, so your trident, your crossbow, and any other real weapons that are on you would be unavailable to you. All right, so back into the thing with Alaric and what's her name? So the elf.
Oh, I got a question for this. Like,
sure.
So what I really want to know is, with a place like this, surely there are secrets. There are dark secrets. That's what interests me. Those are my pleasures.
Well, everybody has secrets, but they don't come for free. Tell you what. Why don't we, the three of us, why don't we go grab one of these little cozy corners and have a little discussion?
I like it. Let's go.
All right. As you're walking over, why don't you make a persuasion check for me to see how they're going to react to this request?
20.
Excellent. So you pick up both drinks and you start walking over with them, and Alaric and Seraphina both join you. So as you guys walk into one of these little corners, they close the golden drapes, and you notice that actually something strange is happening in here. Although the area itself seemed to be probably like a 10 by 10 space, actually probably not even, like an 8 by 8 space, like a little corner. As soon as you close those drapes, it opens up to a much larger space, and you notice that it's clearly magic. Something's going on here, and there's a couple of different little rooms. There's like a small bathroom, there's a bedroom, there's like a sitting couch with a couple of chairs. This whole area just became a completely private,
choose your own adventure
little apartment, if you want to think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Choose your own adventure. I like that. So Alaric says, all right, well, let's talk business first off. Seraphina and I, our time is not free. Just having this little chat here, it's going to cost, each one of us is going to, you got to pay about a gold for each one of us. But then we can go from there, and anything past that, we'll discuss rates.
Ooh, a gold. This is very much a price of the establishment. I mean, for all I know, you all could have no secrets, and you could just be luring me back here for nothing. Can I at least get a little preview of what you're going to tell me?
Well, we have a lot of clientele. Is there somebody that you'd like to know about? Otherwise, you're welcome to leave.
All right. Is it 1 gold each or just 1 gold total?
One gold each, and that buys you about 10 minutes from both of us, just to chat.
All right, I'm in. I'll toss them a gold each.
All right, cool. So a couple gold. All right. So what is it that you're looking to know? Also, I'm quite parched. Is that for me? I noticed that you got my favorite.
Oh, yes. Go ahead. I'll deduct that from your total later.
Fair enough. So what is it that you're looking to know?
Just curious, like I said, I'm new to this town. Like, is there any clientele that you think would be advantageous to know about, or at least have some insight on? Because my friends and I are not that we're worried, but it's just like we're so new, we don't know who to be aware of and who to be afraid of. Is there any person you should warn us about? That's probably the better question.
All right, roll a persuasion check. Let's see what you get out of this.
All right. 24.
Whew, that's good. So Alaric has been doing most of the talking so far. However, that is about to change as Seraphina kind of chimes in and she goes, well, there's that one guy. Do you think we should tell him about him? And Alaric says, you know what? He's not from here. He's got no reason to kind of pull one over on us here. So there's something very interesting, a little juicy bit of gossip that we've been, I've been dying to tell somebody. And Seraphina, she kind of looks, what am I gonna say? So she is hesitant, even with your roll, to say something, but she says, let's just say one of the heads of the clans visits us frequently, and I don't think his wife would be all that interested to know about. Or I think his wife would be very interested to know about this. She would not be very happy.
Ah, I see. I feel like that's pretty relatively normal. I mean, and the types of establishments like this, I mean, I don't think that's super crazy. But is there anything else? Is there a reason why, you know, this person are they a religious figure, or are they, you know, I'm just curious, like, why that's so special. Because again,
why don't you
we all know what happens in these establishments.
Why don't you roll history for me real quick? Let's see what you know about the dwarves.
Yes, let's see. Oh, apparently 16.
16. That's enough to know that dwarves, when they marry, it is a commitment, much more than even just like, you know, people. Like, it's, you don't cheat on you don't cheat on your wife when you're a dwarf. Okay. Yeah. So the fact that there is a dwarf that is a head of one of these clans cheating on his wife, and that they know about it, is potentially very useful information.
This is additional context that is very useful. Yes.
Yep.
I see. Oh, how delicious. I take a sip of my drink, and I want to like make sure they're drinking too. Like are they both drinking?
So she's definitely drinking her wine. He's taken one sip of his drink so far. And while he was doing it, he was kind of eyeing you just to make sure. Like, he didn't see you buy it, but it's definitely a cup that is served here. So he doesn't know you, and you brought him a drink. So he's taking a small sip just in case, and he's kind of put it down and he's waiting. Yep. I get it.
I'd like to try to make them more comfortable. Can I, like, where are we sitting in relation to each other? Just curious.
Sure. So you are actually, you tell me. So they're in this living room area, unless you decided to head back to the bedroom. But as the not yet. As the drapes closed and this room kind of transformed, the living room that is there's some bottles of whiskey and wine. It's kind of got everything that you could want. And you imagine that anything you take might be charged for, like a minibar at a hotel.
Oh, like Vegas. Oof,
exactly.
That's scary. Okay.
All right. But in the room, there are 2 seats, and then there's a couch. And you are currently sitting on the couch, and they're both in chairs, or both in the like single person seats. Think like a triangle. They're both kind of looking at you. Okay.
I'd like to say, like, I feel like this is too intimidating. You guys join me, please, on the couch.
All right. So she will join you. He is going to stay at where he is at the moment.
Are you not into fun? I thought that was the whole point of this place.
He says, I definitely am, but I'm still trying to make heads or tails whether this is a conversation or an interaction.
It's nothing more than a conversation. Here, can I interest you both in another drink?
Let me just do something real quick. Let's see what he thinks. I think I'll stay here for a minute, but don't misunderstand me. I think you're a pretty good-looking guy, and you know, I imagine there's quite a bit going on underneath that cloak that you're wearing, and stuff I might be interested in.
Oh. Wouldn't you like to know?
I imagine I will. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is this is almost like a sidebar. Is at the moment you have engaged them in conversation for gossip, nothing more. She is a little bit more working it. He either needs to get back to the stage or he needs to commit to a situation. So he needs to. You would know this with your history of working in a brothel of sorts. Like, you can pretend that you're into it, but time is still money. So he needs to know whether he's wasting his time or not.
I see. Well, we'd love some lovely background music. If you have a show to put on, we'd love to listen, I do thank you for your time, and you are definitely welcome to taking a peek under the what am I wearing? I don't even know what I'm wearing at this point. Knobolas never knows what he's wearing.
Yeah, you're wearing like a robe, like a mage robe kind of thing, but it could be stylistic. Like I think in your general avatar, like it's pretty, you're wearing like pants with like a overcoat kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'd like to dismiss him, but in like but maybe later, like more of a like maybe later versus like we're done. But like I'm not feeling his vibe. It's not working out. So I'll let him get back to his show.
Okay, cool. So he thanks you for the drink, and he says, if you change your mind, ask Seraphina to come get me, because I'm interested. And he kind of pulls back the curtain, and you see, like, immediately it gets a little bit loud again. Like, you're amazed at how well the curtains just dampen all of the sound. Like, clearly this is just a magical spot. He walks out, and now it's just you and Seraphina. And she says, well, my wine's almost gone, so if you'd like, I could pour another, or something else.
Here, allow me.
All right. So remove another, let's say 8 silver for the bottle of wine.
8 silver for a whole bottle. We get to share.
Yes, for a whole bottle. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And your drink will be about finished at this point too. So you two can split a bottle of wine. Yep. All
right. So I'm gonna walk over to like where the bottles are. I'm assuming it's like a little bit of like a distance from where we are, right? Like it's still in the same room, but it's like. Yeah.
You're basically, I mean, picture a typical hotel room, right? Like you're in the living room. There's like a refrigerator on top of that. There's a number of little. There's no refrigerator, of course, but there's like bottles of wine, and you could, as soon as you take them, like that will be added to your cost.
Okay. I'd like to, like, as I'm going over there, I'd like to maybe ask her a question, just kind of, to get her talking, so it's not just awkward silence while I'm pouring these drinks.
Sure.
I'd like to just ask her, not necessarily how she got into this, but like just about this establishment. Like, oh, like how did you come to this place? Like, how does this place, where you ended up? But while I'm asking that question, I would like to use one of my abilities. Okay. If that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to use my Dark Shard Amulet.
Okay.
Which allows me to cast a cantrip that I don't know.
And what are you going to cast?
I would like to cast... We'll see if this works. I'd love to cast Poison Spray, and I'd like to discreetly put it into her glass as I'm pouring her a glass of wine. Okay.
And to what end?
Am I allowed to pick the poison?
Yes, if you have several different poisons to pick from, or if there is an effect that you'd like. So, typically the cantrip of Poison Spray is used to injure people, but as it's a cantrip, and in this current situation, and by using a single use per day item, I'm happy to extend the poison to be something more specific. If you can describe what you'd like it to be.
I'd like something in the realm of like a truth serum, but not quite that extreme, because I feel like that's too easy, right? I want it to be more of like it gets her highly intoxicated, highly fast, but it's more of like a laughing gas kind of thing. Okay. So it's not like quite like because I feel like otherwise she would know what's up, right?
Yep.
Like. Okay. So I think it kind of put me in that realm. Truth serum, laughing gas combo. So
the idea is that you'd like her next drink to hit her a little harder, so that maybe she's a little bit more loose-lipped.
Comfortable, yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
That's the goal.
Awesome. Okay, so roll an intelligence check, and you need to roll a 10 or better.
Can I use my ability on myself, my guidance ability?
You can. You can guide yourself.
All right, so it says roll a d4 and add it to the ability check. So let me go ahead and roll it first.
Okay.
That was you said intelligence?
Well, why don't you roll the ability check? Because if you roll over 10, then you don't have to roll your guidance.
Good point. All right. It's not good. It is a 2.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. I don't think my guidance will help me out here.
No,
but
certainly.
Wait, I didn't use my...
You did not use your risky whiskey. So, yeah. All right, fair enough. I was going to remind you about that before you even rolled. So as you're kind of doing, well, as you're rolling your dice and doing whatever, so she starts talking about how as she was growing up, she noticed that she kind of had an innate ability towards magic. And she noticed that she could kind of create these little illusions, and people tend to like her a little bit more than would be expected with the length of time that she got to know them. And so she realized that she really had a kind of a knack for people just being attracted to her. And she thought that this job made a lot of sense for that.
Well, I can't disagree there.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try that again. Let me try the...
Oh, I thought you were wrong. Yeah.
Sorry, no, I was waiting to hear that. Okay, so intelligence check. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Much
11.
better.
You know what? I still want to do my guidance. It says
you don't have to.
a...
You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
I mean, either like guidance or not, you would have succeeded. So you're able to cast your poison spray. However, with the 11 that you rolled, I'm gonna have you roll and the fact that she is somewhat aware of magical stuff is the reason I told you that. Roll a sleight of hand for me because she's talking to you. She's looking right at you as you're pouring.
All right, 15.
15 will work. All right, so she does not notice you. You as you're kind of pouring it, you kind of cast the cantrip right out of your palm, and it fills the cup. And what it does is a slight improvement. The toxicity actually just increases the ABV of the wine. So she will taste the difference, but she's also like, well, this wine was put here by the company, so whatever. She won't think that it's weird. It's
so
just
what ABV are we talking? We talking like
what is wine typically? I actually don't really know.
15-ish, 15%.
I was gonna say, is it like 12 to 15? Yeah. So let's double it. So she's basically gonna be drinking like almost like a brandy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So as she takes her first sip of it, actually she reacts to it a little bit, and she's, "Whew, did you pour the wine or the brandy?"
Totally the wine, because I pour myself a glass as well, and of course I didn't do all that shits to it, so I'm just gonna take a sip with her, and like I assume color wise it looks the same, like nothing
totally yeah, with those rolls totally unexpected. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe it's a vintage. It might be a vintage. It's probably been sitting here a while.
Yeah. Well, either way, I appreciate the drink.
Of course.
Let's handle some business just so we can kind of get this out of the way. So I'm willing to do pretty much anything you want. And it's going to cost you probably about 5 gold. You know, there's always add-ons, of course. And if you want those, we can discuss those either before or after. It's you seem like a trustworthy guy, and I don't think you're about to run out of here, especially with Grom at the door. So we'll go 5 gold for an experience that you won't forget.
I assume you chugging that is her drinking her wine intensely.
Yes, that sounds perfect. Yes, I'm imitating her drinking her wine. All
right, I'll toss her a 5 gold.
All right, so you see actually fairly quickly this alcohol starting to have an effect on her, and I would say at this point you could probably ask her some questions, and she would be amicable. I'm gonna have to roll for it a little bit, but it's gonna be, for her to catch on to what's happening, it's a pretty high DC.
Okay. So about this clan leader, sounds like y'all have some tea to share. Just like I'm trying to get casual, like friendly.
I like it. She actually, so she's starting to look a little glossy-eyed, and she says, actually, let's see what she says. As I said, I'm gonna have to roll for this. I'm gonna roll with disadvantage because of the alcohol.
Yes. Thank God you don't make us do that.
Right. She actually says, "Oh no. I don't talk about my clients. There's, like I said, there's somebody, but there's 4 to choose from. It could be any of them."
I'd like to I don't have, I used to have some abilities that I've discontinued in the past as like a charm kind of thing, but I think Knobolas has some charm. I think Knobolas would like to maybe unbutton a button a bit, maybe get a little closer to her. She's on the couch with me, right? Maybe put my arm around her and just be like, "Oh, Neither do I. Like, I'm like implying like I have experience, you know.
Sure. Roll a persuasion. If you roll above a 12, you can slyly ask again without her catching on to it being something, you know.
15.
Okay. All right. So as you know, of course, we don't need to role play too much of this, but you guys are doing like a little bit of light stuff. It's fine. And as you're talking, you kind of ask her, you pry again. Let's see what she rolls this time. I should have left this open. All right. Disadvantage. Much better. All right, so she rolled a much better roll. So you're kind of prying, you're asking again, and she's mentioning that it's the head of the Goldbeard clan, and his name is Ragnar Goldbeard, and she says Ragnar's actually here right now in another room with a woman that's not his wife.
Oh, how scandalous. And is there anything that does he request the same woman like every time? Is it like he's just here just to, you know, get a load off? Like, what's his deal?
What did you roll on your last persuasion? I might let you get away with it.
15.
15? Yeah, I'll give you some more. She says, actually, Ragnar is quite fond of this little halfling. And I've actually seen he's been writing her love letters.
Oh, wow.
They are quite vivid.
And does he give them to her in person, or how do they exchange these love letters?
Oh, I think he'll usually, like, on days that he doesn't actually visit here, he comes here about once a week. And on days that he doesn't visit, sometimes a courier will bring one by. And she says, I actually took one from her room one time.
Oh my god, you have to let me see it. I'm putting on the gay voice. Knobolas is going full on like gossipy right now. You have to let me see it. So
you interrupt what's going on at the moment and roll another persuasion. This time I'm going to give you advantage because at this point that poison is really kicking in.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Yep.
20.
a 20 will get you what you want. So you look at this letter, and it in fairly vivid terms. Not only does it kind of starts off as talking about, you know, like, I can't wait to see you, blah 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 blah, and then it starts describing the things he wants to do to her, and it is quite incriminating. And then he signs it at the end. He signs it Ragnar. He doesn't say Ragnar Goldbeard, but, you know, there could be other Ragnars, but there's Ragnar on the bottom.
All right. I don't know if I want to do this. I'd like to give it back to her, but, like, can I try another sleight of hand and instead slip the paper in her pocket that has the list of the different clubs in it? Like, are they similar sized papers or no?
I wouldn't say so. No, I think the paper that she slipped you is pretty small. Okay.
I just thought I would try. I was like, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
That was a good question. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me what you're doing, because I have ideas, but I can't hit. I'm not.
I'd like to, like, I don't want to give it back to her. I just want to, like, put it down on the table and just, like, laugh my ass off.
Perfect.
And just like be like, oh my god, this is scandalous. And I was like, and then at this point I'm finishing my drink. How is she doing on hers?
So hers is mostly gone. As you're kind of laughing and putting it down, she says, you know, there were actually a couple things in that letter, if you read the whole thing, that I'd like to try. And yeah. So if
you know what, I'm gonna go for it. Knobolas is gonna go for it, but in the process of going for it, he's going to distract her enough. He's gonna try to distract her enough to slip that piece of paper in his pocket.
Perfect. All right, make a sleight of hand check with advantage. Well, actually, I'm going to make this another complicated roll because it's way funnier. Roll a performance check for me to see if you get advantage on the sleight of hand.
What? Performance? Oh, Knobolas is not. I mean, oh, he's totally experienced. He
totally experienced.
Yeah,
Deception.
You know, 16.
16. All right, with a 16, I will grant you advantage. You had to roll over 15, so roll advantage on your sleight of hand check.
All right, here goes nothing. Ooh, 25.
Nice. So you, whatever you're doing to her, she is fully distracted, and for the sake of brevity,
no, wait.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Since that roll was so freaking high, can we like ask her to call her bard friend in as well?
Absolutely. So before things fully get in, she actually sticks her head back out, and she says, "What was his name? Alistair? Alaric." She says, "Alaric, we need your help in here, if you don't mind." And he's mid limerick. I'm not gonna read it. It's fine. And he goes, "Let me tell you all about the centaur that used to be here." He says, "There once was a centaur so grand, whose touch left you breathless and fanned. At the high-end retreat, with hooves so fleet, he'd take you on a wild, passionate land." And
he's already in the mood.
Right. He says, "I'll be right there." And you know, a minute later, he walks in, and
I assume at that point she is so drunk, she's laughing, she's having a good time, and he was obviously into her. I saw that. I don't need a perception check to know that he was into her.
I agree.
So
yes,
I think he's gonna have a good time.
I think the two of them have probably interacted a few times before.
I'm sure.
So everything goes well. Is there anything else that you'd like to do prior to the situation?
No, I'm thoroughly ready to get my knob off.
You know, it's funny. Just slight aside, not a cut, but slight aside. I've been thinking of what to name this episode, and the amount of times that something regarding knob has come up in my.
Do it. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Oh yeah, we gotta come up with something. Anyway, so
really hard to hit my Sorry.
No, it's fine. So you guys fade to black. Everything goes well. You now have in possession this letter, and as you're kind of laying there in the afterglow, you actually hear a voice in your head, and it says,
"Please don't be my mother."
No, it's not your mother this time.
Thank God.
It's actually the voice of Silgradan, your patron, and he says, I forget his voice, but I'm very proud of you. Use this to ruin him." And that's all you hear. So,
okay.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do? At the moment, you guys made your way into the bedroom. Everything that happened. Everybody seems pretty happy with that performance roll. Actually, roll me one more performance roll, because you had another entry into the situation.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh God.
Well, you know, he came a little late. I'll just leave that hanging out there.
Literally.
Or a little early. But you know, any man with two people, that's you can only hope for the best. So anyway, you guys are done, and they both, you know, kind of say that was a good time, and they both charge you. So I believe she charged you 5, and he's gonna charge you an extra 4.
We didn't agree to that, but
yeah,
he didn't even give enough of a performance to deserve 4.
Well, that's why he went not 5.
9. Okay, fine.
Of course.
I'll give him with him. I already gave her 5, so I'll give him his 4.
Perfect. And then and they both say, we would be very interested in any time that you decide to come back and come visit us, and you could take your time in here, and I think you'll find that as you leave, very little time has actually passed on the outside.
Interesting. I'll take that to heart. Good day, my new. I don't want to say friends. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'll just awkwardly wave and walk out of the room.
You too. So,
yeah. I think Novice is feeling pretty satisfied. Like I was gonna say, like I thought I was like, should I go back to the bartender? Because like I feel like we were hitting it off, and like we were cool. I bought his favorite drink.
Sure.
I don't know if there's anything else I can gain from this, but I think we're gonna be here for a while, right, Bill? We're not like leaving town.
Correct. No, you guys. So you're still on your first day, and the skyship's actually not leaving for a full 2 days.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I might be back. I feel like I made good acquaintances, and I think, yeah, I'm done for tonight. I think.
All right. So as you leave the little nook here, why don't you roll me an Arcana check?
Oh, that sounds dangerous. I don't know. Oh, there it is. This is the first time I've ever rolled that, but okay.
I figured it might be.
I did okay. 16.
So as you walk out, you notice that everybody that was kind of in the chairs next to you as you walked in there are still in the chairs, and even the bartender, he hasn't even moved yet. Whatever happened in there seems to have not passed time whatsoever. It's almost as if as soon as those gold silk drapes closed, time stopped. And yeah, so roll another perception check for me.
Okay.
I like these interludes. I get to have you roll a lot of stuff.
20.
Jeez, you're on fire tonight, man. You started off such crappy. With a 20. So you actually so you look back towards the front, and you see that there are 3 dwarves now, and each one of them is wearing kind of like these darker colored leathers. They have these cloaks on, and they all have kind of like a gray silvery beard. One of them has a brown beard, and none of them are the gambling guy that you've seen, but all 3 of them are looking kind of past Grom, and he's not letting them in, but they're looking, and they spot you.
Oh no. Okay. They spot me.
They definitely
with the 20 you. They spot me. Okay.
So you were that was you know what? Fine.
I know.
Roll stealth. Roll stealth for me. You know what? Actually, what is your stealth modifier? Let's go with that, because it would be a passive stealth.
It's a +3.
It's a +3, so a 13. So give me just a sec. If you make a good point, we can roll for this. Sorry, I had to find a thing. Okay, rolling hidden. Okay, I take that back. As they're looking in, they are definitely staring at you, but they haven't spotted you yet.
Okay.
But something tells you that they're looking for you.
Yeah. Can I take another seat at the bar?
Sure. All right. So you go ahead and sit at the bar, and the bartender comes up to you, and he's, oh, hey, nice to see you again. Did your drink run out? Do you need something new?
No, actually, that hit the spot. I couldn't imagine a more perfect, beautiful drink. Question for you. Sure. Is there another exit from here?
Absolutely. Very commonly used. What you want to do, and he kind of points behind him to the back of the bar, says, head that way, take a right, go to the end of the hall, and there's a door there. It'll lead you out the back of the building.
I'll tip another 5 silver.
5 silver. Oof, nice. He says, I certainly hope to see you. He's dwarven. I certainly hope to see you back here again.
I expect a drink for that one, and then I'd like to leave.
You got it. And if you come back, I'll tell you about the time Aarakocra stole my hat. It's a great story.
Okay. And I'm gonna make my way out.
All right. So you head to the back. Let's do this. So you go to the back.
Before I push out the back door, can I do a perception? Can I listen through the door to make sure no one's waiting out there for me?
Sure. Okay. So actually, even before we get there, so you walk towards the back of the bar, and you do see this hallway. There's a hallway leading to the left and a hallway leading to the right.
Oh, that's a choice. Oh, wow. Shoot. Did he tell me?
He sure did. And I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, the wine that I had obviously messed me up.
Make a Constitution saving throw. If you roll above a 10, I'll tell you the real answer. Because you're a little drunk.
Yeah. Both Knobolas and Cliffy.
And Cliffy.
14.
14. Perfect. Go to the right. All right.
Right.
So
that was what I was going to say. Seriously, that's what I was going to say.
I believe you.
Go to the right.
Yep. So you go to the right. On both sides, there are closed doors. There's one that appears to be a kitchen, and the other 3 closed doors look like maybe some sort of... You can't tell. They're closed wooden doors. And then at the end of the hall, there is another door.
Do I get another Constitution saving throw or no?
Not in this case.
Okay. I think I'm going through the kitchen.
You want to go to the kitchen. Excellent.
I think so.
All right. So you poke your head into the kitchen, and you smell meat and some sort of soup. Smells incredible. And the kitchen looks pretty clean, and you see a few people working in there. And as you walk in, they look at you, and they're just staring at you like, "Hey, you're not allowed in here. What do you need?"
Bathroom?
You go out, take a left, and take another left.
Okay, and is that... How do I get out of here? I honestly had far too much to drink, and I've lost my way. When I leave the bathroom, how do I get out of here?
So this little dwarf, halfling comes up to you, and they actually hand you like a heel of bread. It's a little crusty, a little like stale, but they say, "Eat some of this. Go back out there. Take a left. Go to the end of the hall. Go out the door."
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna take the loaf of bread, left into the hall, out the door.
Awesome. All right. So as you get to the very end, make a perception check with disadvantage at this point.
Because I'm wasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh. Oh wait, no. 18.
18.
Wow. For disadvantage.
So you listen, and you hear a couple of fairly gruff voices out the back. You can't make out what they're saying, but there's somebody out there.
I'd like to... That's not gonna work. Did I really... Sorry, I'm looking at my abilities. Oh, no, I still have it. Okay. Yeah. I'd like to use my disguise self.
Okay, great. What are you gonna disguise yourself as?
I'm gonna go as the girl that I was just with.
Ooh, okay. Can you just double check disguise self? You can kind of like turn yourself into pretty much anything, right?
Yeah, you can see up to 1 foot shorter or 1 foot taller. If you're thin, fat, or in between, you just can't change your body type. You must adapt to the same basic arrangement of limbs. So.
Okay. So you are a half elf. She is an elf. So actually, you guys are pretty close. You'll be a little shorter than she was, but you can absolutely make that happen. So you disguise yourself as the elven woman that you were just with, who is probably passed out at the moment, Seraphina, and yeah, what would you like to do?
I just like to like shove the door open.
Okay.
And be like, I need a breath of fresh air.
All right, so you shove the door open, and you see that there's 2 dwarves waiting out there, both of which have these cloaks on, and you notice that they have these daggers crossed across their back as well. And you open the door, and I need a breath of fresh air. And they look up at you and they say, "Ma'am." And
yeah. Hello, boys. What are you doing at the back door?
One of the dwarves says, "Seraphina, you know what I'm doing at the back door."
I just like to like rub his little nose. Be like, I thought we were saving that for later.
He says, I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, see you next Tuesday. And what about you? And turn to the other one, just like point to him.
He actually looks down at his finger. He's not for me. I'm a married man. But everything going okay in there. Have you seen a kind of a tall half elf? He's got these big chest muscles.
Oh, well, no, I haven't. But if you see him, send him my way.
Roll a deception check.
Fuck. All right. Oh, 17. Holy moly. 17. Why do I roll deception more often? Okay.
You certainly should.
Plus 8. Holy moly.
Yeah, charisma is your thing. So he says, all right, well, if you see him in there, you know, there could be a tip in it for you if you kind of send him out this way, or even at the front. Just somehow get him out of the building.
Oh, there's only one tip I'm interested in. I want to turn to the other one that's waiting for me on Tuesday.
He blushes a bit.
And then I walk away.
All right, so you're gonna walk away out the door or back in the building?
Oh, out the door. I'm leaving this place.
Okay, you're leaving the situation. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. What time would it be? So it'd be a little weird for you to leave right now. It's kind of like the high point of the night. I would say I'll give you a chance to kind of make a reason for you to walk away. Otherwise, they might get suspicious. But I will also roll based off what you say.
Is that because I'm her?
It's because you're her, and like right now would be when you would be working. It'd be strange for you to just walk out the back door, say you needed some fresh air, and just leave.
Well, crap. I was trying to plan a great escape here.
No, it was awesome until you totally convinced them that you are her. But to leave is where it gets weird.
Okay. I'm going back in. All
right, you're gonna walk back in. All right.
Yeah, let's do it. I need another drink though.
Sure. All right, so you walk back in, and you turn around and you're staring back down this hallway. So there is a room to your right that you haven't looked at. There's 2 rooms to your left that you haven't looked at. And then on further down the hall on your right is the kitchen. And then if you keep walking, you'll go back into kind of the main area.
All right, I'll check the room on my right.
On your right. Okay, so as you open the door to your right, you look and you see it's a whole different kind of room, actually. In this room, there are a whole bunch of baths. And each one is somewhat separated by like a curtain of some sort, although they're fairly sheer, like you could easily see through them. This seems to be just kind of another room to enact certain fantasies, I suppose. But there are 3 people in there, and as they see you, they say, "Oh, Serafina, strange, you're not with anybody. Do you need a bath? Do you want us to draw you a bath?"
Oh no, I'm just looking for a friend. Enjoy. And then I like to leave. These people all know me. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. All right, so you walk back out. So there's the 2 rooms on your left, and then the kitchen on your right.
All right, I'll go to the first room on my left.
All right, first room on your left. So as you walk into the first room on your left, so, it's so funny. I had no idea you were gonna end up over here. I planned for it, but I did not expect it.
Not me being Josephine.
I love it. Yes, like I love D&D. This is so not the way I thought tonight was going to go. It's awesome. All right, so as you walk in, or you open the door, you see there is a dwarven man, in with a little halfling. And he's got this bright gold beard. They're very much in the middle of something. And you see that there is a pile of clothes sitting on a chair to the right. And they haven't noticed you open the door yet.
I'd like to keep walking in and you know, and you know, I don't want to spook them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll knock on the door as I'm walking in. I'd like to knock on the door like behind me, like, "Excuse me, is there anything you all need help with?"
So he turns around and he says, actually he turns around and he sees you, and then he looks down at the halfling and he says, you said that this was going to be a private event. And he looks back at you and he says, "Come on over here. Come on. Come in the room for a minute. Close the door. Close the door."
Oh, okay. I'll close it, and I'd like to walk over to them.
Okay. So he turns over. He lays on his back. He's in bed. He's got the sheet over him and everything. And he says, "The door was supposed to be locked. What are you doing here?"
You know what, sorry, where am I? I just seem to be a bit lost, and I like to just pretend to like faint, like just like
Sure.
on the bed.
You're gonna faint onto the bed. I love it.
I don't know. He seemed like he like did it. He didn't
awesome.
shoo me away. So like,
roll a deception check for me.
God. Well, now that I know that I'm good at this, we'll see how this works. Oh, 10.
10. All right, hold on. That's worthy of a roll. All right, so let's do insight. He's not great at this, so that's okay. That might work in your to your advantage. Oh, come on.
I mean, I like how he was like, "This is supposed to be a private room. Come in."
Well,
I was like, "Okay."
He was more like, "You're here already, so close the door, and we need to have a conversation."
Okay, I got you.
That was so he rolled actually very high on that. He sees you. You follow him. He's, what are you doing? Just first off, who are you? This is supposed to be a private room. I'm upset, but what are you doing here?
I'm just here to double your fun, double your pleasure. If you are interested, I like to like twirl my tassel a bit.
It's perfect. So he says, I'm not interested. And at this point, you actually notice he's completely naked except for a gold crown that he is wearing. Apparently felt like it was important to keep that on. The halfling, she says, just leave. Pretend you didn't see this. And he looks over at her for a sec.
I see 2 lovebirds here. I appreciate that. And what was your name?
Really? he says, my name is not important. Actually, no. That a question like that deserves something. Let's do this. Oh shit! What do I even have you roll there?
I'm trying to know this awkward situation. I'm like, I know who it is, but I'm like, how do I like?
He's not gonna want you asking who he is.
No. Okay. Wait. Shoot.
No. You said it. All right. So let's do this. Let's do persuasion. No. All right. Hold on. You could either do persuasion or performance. If you are trying, if you're trying to convince him to let you join, it's performance. If you're trying to like get out of the situation, it's perception. Persuasion.
I'm joining. We're performancing it.
Okay.
Let's go for it. God, this is not where I thought this episode would go, Bill.
Me either.
12. Wait.
Yeah,
okay,
there's
12.
No more risky whiskey. All right, with a 12.
Did I? Okay, I did.
You did, yeah. So he turns over to the halfling and he says, "Do I need to worry about her? Is she gonna be a problem?" And she looks at you actually, and she's like, "Can you keep your mouth shut about this? This is gonna be this is one of those."
Girl, you know me. I've been here a while. I've been working here since whatever she told me about there. She didn't go into detail, but I assume that Knobolas would know what she's been working there since.
Sure. All right. One more persuasion roll. Otherwise, this is gonna go problematic.
I was pretty slick with that.
You were, but you've also failed like 3 checks in a row.
10.
Oh, a 10 is just enough. I'll give you a 10. At this point, if you're leaving the room, she'll take a 10.
I'll leave. Fine.
All right.
I'll find fun elsewhere. You have fun, you 2 lovebirds.
All right. You hear as you close the door, you actually hear him kind of like yelling a little bit. He's really upset.
But he doesn't suspect anything, right?
You don't know. We're not with the 10.
Okay.
All right. So there's at this point there's one more room to the left, and then back out to the front.
These doors are not in my favor, but let's just go for it. Let's go to the last room to the left.
All right. So you open that room, and you see something that, even with your experience, disturbs you, and you close the door very gently. And
oh, come on.
Let's just say that centaur still works here. So.
And why would I close it? I'm just kidding. Okay. I'll make my way back to the.
All right. So now you're in a situation. So your current situation is there are 3 people out front, 2 people out back. You are currently disguised as somebody who is probably passed out inside of your room. You are still maintaining your disguise. What are you doing?
I have no idea. Oh. Yikes. Okay. I think my best bet is to just turn back into myself. I'm back inside. The guys outside didn't follow me in or anything, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'd like to go back to the bar because I've been tipping in generously.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're turning back into Knobolas.
Back to Knobolas.
You're going back to the bar. Okay.
Back to the bar.
Mm-hmm. And what are you doing?
I'll be straight with them. I'll be like, hey, there's people looking for me out front. There's people looking for me out back. I appreciate you. I appreciate your company. How do I get out of here safely? Please help.
Sure. Let's do. You've been tipping well, so let's do a persuasion with advantage.
Okay. Okay. Actually, wait, what?
You got
a 25. Okay.
Yeah, you got a natural 20 for a 25.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, thank goodness, Knobolas. All right, so he looks at you and he says, "All right, I've got an idea, but it's gonna make it so you can't come back here." And he says, "If you really need to get out of here, so I want you to go back to the back of the room, take a left. Once you go to the left, you'll see there's a room with a library. Very strange for a place like this, but serves a purpose. I want you to take the 4th bookshelf, the 3rd book from the left on the 2nd shelf. Pull it, and you'll get out of here."
Yes, from the 4th bookshelf, the 3rd book from the left on the 2nd shelf.
You got it. All right. So you clearly remembered. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. I'd like to go in the back, go to the left, and go into the room with the bookshelves.
So he looks at you a little expectantly before you leave. Even with the tip, he's like, "This is gonna cost you a little bit.
Give me a shot of, as soon as I can't come back, give me a shot of your finest whiskey." And
all right.
You'll get it.
So at the moment there's no urgency, and at least there's a little urgency, but he says, "All right, I've got 3 of the expressions from Glen Draconic. We got the Firestorm, the Storm Shock, and the Winter's Breath."
What's the highest ABV?
That's gonna be the Storm Shock.
Give it to me.
All right, awesome. So because we're a somewhat whiskey channel, so from the moment it touches your mouth, you're going to get a blast of citrus and a bit of blueberry. But the alcohol on this one is very high, and it gives you a surge of energy. As you drink this, so you head back to the back, you take your left, I know you wrote it down, so it's fine.
Go to the 4th bookshelf, 3rd book from the left on the 2nd shelf.
You pull it, and the bookshelf opens, and you find it leads down underground. You walk for a little while, and you come up into another stone building that is completely empty. And you walk right out the front door, and at the moment, you don't see anybody there. All right, and you have successfully escaped.
Wow, that was a journey. That was not nearly what I expected this to go. But you know what? I assume it wasn't for you either.
No, it was very. You saw what I had planned, but I didn't expect to use half of that material.
So I kept walking in the room, and you're like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, okay, bye.
So I will tell you that Knobolas at the moment is known to a certain faction that you don't know the name of yet. At the moment, you are by yourself in the middle of the Silverhammer quarter. Although, I imagine in the next episode, your friend might end up finding you. So we'll see.
Please do. Please.
But either way, thank you everybody for joining us here on Dungeons and Drams. Clifton, I hope you enjoy your vacation, and I'm happy that we were able to do this little interlude. It'll make it hurt a little bit less when you're not there on Monday. So
well, I look forward to hearing about all of the adventures of the Dungeons and Drams group. I can't wait to hear when Alessio dies. not how, but when.
Many
cheers.
times.
Thank you so much,
times.
Bill.
Yeah, no problem. Cheers, Clifton. Talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.